Texas Premium Financial Services. Welcome to our tax tip series with Let's Vamonos, and this week's tip is working teenagers. Did you know a teenager who's a dependent on their parents' tax return that has earned income over a certain threshold may need to file their own tax return? Important to know that even if a teenager's income is below the filing threshold, they may still want to file a tax return if the federal taxes were withheld from their paychecks. This would allow them to receive a refund for the amount that was withheld. Thanks again for joining us on our tax tip series, and if you need any help with your personal or small business tax returns, please give us a call at 832-990-0403. Thank you.
Hello. We are here. We finally made it. Welcome to Let's Vamonos. I'm your host, Desiree. We had some technical difficulties. We were a little behind, but no worries. We're still on it. We are super excited about today. So first and foremost, I want to thank our sponsors, Texas Premium Financial Services. If you need any help with your small business or need any help with your tax or personal business or tax services, please give her a shout out to connect with her to be able to help you with your small business or personal taxes. We are back on the pink couch, guys. We haven't been on the pink couch in a while because we've been, running the city, getting into new spaces, getting out of our box, and we're super excited about that. So, as always, we really appreciate y'all's love and support. Again, as a reminder, we are doing advertising and marketing opportunities for your small business. We do have 4 spots available, and they can be as low as $20 an episode. So if you're interested, let us know. A new quarter is about to start, and we definitely want to help y'all small businesses out there get that advertising and marketing for your business. Again, today we have also partnered up with Sam Rios with the Yellow Management for all of our virtual producing needs right now. So we really appreciate her. Go follow her on Instagram, and if you need any help with your business, getting some virtual assist needs, go check her out. She will be able to help get you some tailored virtual assistance needs as well for your business. So again, thank you so much, Sam. As y'all know, today is International Women's Day, so happy International Women's Day. We're super excited about that. We are celebrating, and today we are also celebrating with our guest, Rose Garcia, who is a USA Today best-selling author. We're really excited to share and bring her on. But before we bring her on, we're going to talk also about our community events. And we are really excited about those events that are coming up this week because they're all women empowerment events. They're all about celebrating women, the market, the Houston events, all those things. Super excited. So starting off tonight at Axelrad, there's going to be a women's market with Shop Local Market, and they are going to have live jazz. They're going to have steak night. They're going to have drink specials. So there will also be all women-owned businesses out there at the market as well. So go support our women out there that are in the small business community and definitely get a chance to be able to support them and just enjoy a day for us women. Hey, if they're giving it to us, I'm celebrating at this point. Another community event is this weekend, which is with the Shop Local Market at the Houston Farmers Market every Saturday and Sunday until the rest of the year. So if you have not been out to the Houston Farmers Market, please go do so. They have tons of artisans, fresh produce, small businesses of all kinds, great eateries out there as well. So definitely want to check them out. Another amazing event, because Shop Local Market, y'all, is killing it in the events right now. They're going to be out at the Carbach Brewery Company this Sunday for actually it's going to be for Women's History Month. So this month is all about women. We got International Women's Day, which is today. Women's History Month, which is all this month. So we got to take advantage of supporting those small businesses out there, especially those women that own those small businesses. And not just small businesses, authors, writers, creatives, all of the women that are in all those different artistic fields. And as you did not know, just a reminder, I am a Berry Fab ambassador. So if you need some chocolate dipped strawberries for your loved ones for any of those special events such as anniversaries, birthdays, Mother's Day is coming up, please get in touch with her, the Berry Fab, on IG, and she can help you get some chocolate dipped strawberries for your loved ones. They're the best, y'all. I would not be saying that. They are truly the best. So as far as the events, the community events, I think that's it. And just as a reminder, go follow us on YouTube, please. A lot of people don't realize, but we are on YouTube. We're growing, but slowly. We need some help on there. So please go follow us on YouTube. Subscribe on Facebook, YouTube, if you're not already following us. So, and let me just make sure I'm not missing any comments that are coming in. I don't see any comments just yet, but I just want to make sure I'm not missing any. And no further ado, we're going to go ahead and talk about our trending topics on the Pink Couch today. I'm super excited because we haven't been on the Pink Couch, and this is definitely become an icon for our episodes. So let's go ahead and bring our guest on, Rose, so we can talk about those trending topics.
Hi.
Say hi to everybody out there on
everyone
on the live.
I am so excited to be here.
Yes, we are very excited to have you as well. Yeah. We're going to talk about some trending topics. Now, I know when I had mentioned first to her about the trending topics, you're like, oh, nothing too controversial. So we're going to really keep it positive today because one, it's International Women's Day and Women's History Month. So we definitely want to keep it positive and be in line with what's going on in the community. So, a couple of things that really caught my eye. This month is
what?
We
need like a drum roll.
Sam's helping me out. So it's actually Alexa Grasso. I don't know if you know her, but she just won she is the first Mexican women's UFC champion from Mexico. So we want to congratulate
I did not know that, but
yes, definitely congratulate her.
That is incredible.
And let her know that we are supporting her. It's a really awesome title to have. If any of y'all follow UFC women out there are Latin women that have won from other countries, but not from Mexico. So it's a big deal. If you're from Mexico, we got to rep, right?
Yeah.
I'm not from Mexico, but I'm Mex-Tex, so I still gotta rep my homeland.
Me too.
Yeah. So that was definitely a cool high note for us women out there. Another one is, are you familiar with Carol G?
No.
Okay, so Carol G has just achieved the first #1 album on the Billboard.
Oh yeah.
With her,
I'm looking at her picture and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, so
wow.
she just
incredible.
Yeah, she just achieved that goal
That's huge.
Literally this week, and it's historic. The fact that it's also an all Spanish album, you just say you're a fan of Bad Bunny, so I know.
Oh, yes.
So I know, we listen to that kind of genre of music.
Yeah. I love.
So yeah, she is amazing, and I just want to again give her props for reaching that goal. I'm sure that's not even something that she really even had in her head to do. So
yeah.
So do you have any other favorite singers out there that you like?
Oh gosh, I mean, I'm always trying to listen and explore and find new singers, so I like to listen to my Bad Bunny radio because it will play his music and then similar music, so I can explore and learn and reach and find new artists because I'm always looking for new things to listen to.
Yeah, well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think Sam, was that all on the trending topics? I can't remember. I know it's International Women's Day, obviously. So yes, we're definitely excited about that. I guess one of the things that we also talk about for International Women's Day is women that inspire us, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of y'all know my own mother has inspired me quite a bit. So she's definitely been an inspiration. Do you have anybody in your life that has inspired you?
Yes, I was going to say my mom.
Yeah.
Because, my mom has always been my cheerleader, my #1 fan, and she's always been, pushing me to do things and cheering and rooting for me on the sidelines and the front lines, and so it's my mom for sure, and my sister Michelle. Okay. I mean, they're huge influences on me. And then I have to say one more, my daughter.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, she's incredible, and she teaches me new things every day.
Yes. Us daughters do that.
Yes, yes.
We do that.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. So again, if you're just jumping on, thank you so much. We are here with our guest, Rose Garcia, one of USA Today's best-selling authors, which a really awesome like accolade. I really like love that about like being, you're like my first author like
Thank
you
you.
know that has been on the USA Today bestselling list. So
Yeah.
that's really cool. Also, just so y'all know, if you're hearing my voice go in and out, I am having sinus issues. So I'm trying my best. Usually I'm a really loud mouth, but today I'm having to project a little bit more.
Well, you're doing great, but you know, it's pollen season.
Yes.
And I think that all the
Yes.
pollen in the air is taking all of our voices because
Yes.
it's awful right now
Yes.
in Houston. I mean,
Yes.
just everywhere. Just it's wonderful. Spring is in the air, but man, it's really in the air.
It truly is.
Yes.
It truly is. So I always like to, when I bring on a new guest, and for people that have maybe not met you, obviously we've met previously, and I always like to share a little bit of how we met. Kind of like the backstory. So some of y'all know I live in the Baytown area, and I went to what was the Eastern
Rim
Con.
Conference.
Yeah,
Yes.
Eastern Rim Conference.
Yeah.
And I went to it because my husband's a huge comic book person and all that stuff, and so we usually like try to go out in the community and support as well.
Yeah.
And so went there, and it was actually a really good mix of people. I
Yes.
met a lot of different people,
Yeah.
and then I met you. Yeah, and I was like, okay, Latina author, you know, it's
Yeah.
like this is so cool. And so that's how we met. So
Yeah.
a lot of people sometimes ask me like, how do I meet people? And I'm like, sometimes it's just being out in the community,
Yeah.
like not necessarily me seeking out people, but like literally just doing my own regular life. And that's what I was doing that day, pretty
Yes.
much.
And I think if you have it like on your radar that, you know, I'm just going to be open to meeting people
Yeah.
when I'm out and about
Yeah.
and you're friendly and outgoing. I mean, you're just going to meet people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which,
yeah.
which I'm the same way.
Yes. Yeah. So also, if y'all have any questions, please drop them down below, and we will have them with us to share with our guests today. And just make sure we'll try to make sure we get to them in a timely manner. And if we don't, I do apologize, but we do try to get to all the questions if you have any. And as a reminder, we also will be replaying this episode again tomorrow live. If you don't catch it today, you'll be able to catch it tomorrow. But before we go,
Ask me questions.
yes, ask your questions. So
I will try to answer them.
Yes. So a couple. One thing I like to share though is a fun fact about our guests. So do you have a fun fact you'd like to share with those that wouldn't know you, or maybe wouldn't know something about you?
You know, every time I get asked that question, I always have the same answer. And my answer is that I'm born and raised in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Okay.
And I actually was friends with Selena when I was growing up.
Oh my God!
So,
I'm like you know, how many degrees here? We're like, no.
yeah, so Selena is actually a very good friend of my sister. Because
Oh,
my
wow.
sister is also a singer.
Oh wow.
And you know, the Tejano community is really small.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so my sister and Selena were trying to break into the music scene at the same time. So they were young, they were in
Yeah.
high school. And we all
both
just
from
became-
Corpus.
Yes, and we all just became friends, and we hung out a lot. And so Selena and her brother A.B., her sister Susie, and the parents, and
Wow.
we hung out.
Yeah.
And we did fun stuff together.
Yeah. Wow. That is
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah. So every time I say, you know, hey, I actually hung out with Selena, people are like, what? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. You knew her like
Yes.
from when like growing up, like from the beginning
Yes,
stages.
From the beginning.
Yeah,
Then when I
that's-
saw her, you know, star just shoot into the atmosphere, I was like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, somebody that I know
Yeah.
has made it so big, and then, you know,
Everything that
everything
happened.
that's happened was
Yeah.
just so
Well, that was a very shocking fun fact, because I did not expect you to just say that. Like, oh, I've met.
Yes.
I hung out with Selena when she was a kid. I was like, wow.
Yeah, because you talked about like, so who do you like in music? And I was gonna say Selena, but I'm like, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna drop the Selena later because
Yeah.
I love her music.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
it's just
yes.
it's from a different level, like
Yes.
a knowing close level. It's
Yeah.
Like, wow, Selena.
That's really cool. Well, that is
Yeah.
so cool. Thank you for sharing that with us. That was y'all. I don't know where we can go from that. That was
know.
really awesome share.
Yeah.
So Sam did send me my outline, y'all, but I'm
Yay!
like, I'm at the same time kind of like,
We're gonna wing it.
I'm a little lost.
We're gonna do whatever we want to do.
Oh, okay. So Sam's got me on track here. Okay, I really appreciate it, Sam. So
Thank you, Sam.
what has been one of the genre books, or excuse me, what has inspired the genre style of books that you have written?
Okay, I'm gonna just
Yeah.
hold on.
We got them right here.
So I'm going to show the cover. One of the covers. This is my Faye series. This is actually, I'm gonna grab this.
Yeah.
I just had a cover change.
Ah, I see that.
So this is Faye Bloodlines Book 1, Faye Away, and then my first cover, I have my main character, who's Princess Elise, and then in the new cover, I went with a different stylistic choice of going with a symbol and this blue gem, and then the flowers, which really represents.
And it even has here on the rim. It has one.
It's so cute. So it is young adult fantasy, and the thing about young adult fantasy is I, number one, love fantasy. I just always loved reading about different worlds and different people, and you know, the quest and life or death situations and magical creatures. I always gravitated towards reading that when I was little.
Yeah.
Whenever I went into a bookstore, I would go straight to fantasy and science fiction. I'd look at the covers, and that's how I would pick my books, right?
Oh, okay.
So I was reading all these amazing stories and immersed in all these worlds. And then as I grew older, this whole passion for wanting to write kind of stayed with me. But I didn't exactly choose that path right away, because I always had it ingrained that I was going to go to law school.
Oh, okay.
Because my brother is a lawyer.
Okay.
And my mom was like, law school, law school. I was like, well, okay. I like to read. I like to write. I like to argue.
Right.
I'm extroverted. So I'm like, okay, I'll do law school. So I did.
Okay.
So I went to law school and then fell in love. And then he's also a lawyer. So we got our licenses together, our degrees, started practicing. But all the while that I'm living this life of being a lawyer and, you know, having kids, I always kept coming back to this dream of being a writer. And I really pushed it aside, but my husband didn't forget. And he would always say things to me like, are you going to write? You going to write that book?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. And then one Christmas, he even got me this little handheld recorder. And he was like, that's for you, for your ideas and your stories. And so, you know, eventually something just pushed me, right? Because after a while, that dream is so loud.
Right.
You have to listen.
Yeah.
So I just was pushed, and I decided to do it, and I fell in love. I felt like I was in love when I was writing. You know that feeling?
Yeah.
Like the
my
butterflies.
mom can definitely relate to that, I'm sure. My mom's a writer as well. Some of y'all know I've shared that with y'all.
I didn't know
But
that.
not a novelist.
Yeah.
She's done some more opinionated writing.
Okay.
So that's the kind of writing she likes to do. We do have a comment here.
Persuasive. I love that.
I wanted to address my girl Socorro. She just said, that's how I pick my books also.
Yes.
So yeah.
You know, people always say don't judge a book by its cover.
Yes.
But in the fiction world, you do.
You do.
You really do. And that's why it is so important as an author that you really find the right cover.
Yeah.
That really conveys what the book is about, right?
Yes.
Because that's how you're going to attract the right readers. And
and I know, and I definitely see the, you know, the change. So I think, this cover would definitely make me want to see, what is this about? You know, so I definitely get that. I did buy her first book though, pretty much like right after I had met you. So I had bought it pretty much right after, and that's how I got that one. What do you hope though to convey in the theme of your books, like to the readers out there, for those that are reading this type of genre? Me personally, I've never read the Twilights or the Harry Potters, but I love the movie. I'm a visual girl.
Yes.
In the sense of, that's why I do what I do, the live streaming, right?
Yeah.
So I love the videos and I love the movies. So, but as far as your books, what are you trying to convey to your readers out there?
You know, I really love that question because there's so much. The number one thing that I bring to my books is this feeling of hope. and the feeling of, there's always a sliver of light in the darkness.
Yes.
If you look hard enough.
Yes.
Because if you're not looking hard enough, you're not going to see it.
Right.
So it's twofold, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the message of hope, but the message of working for it and working towards it and seeing it and then going for it.
Same focus too, right?
Yeah.
Same focus.
So, as far as fantasy goes, I love putting my characters in all these really terrible situations where they're up against these insurmountable odds, the things that they think they cannot overcome, but they keep going and they keep going through their journey, and sometimes horrible things happen, and then you want there to be a happy ending.
Yeah.
In fantasy, it's hard to get a happy ending, but I always have it a happy ending.
Yeah.
Even when there's just horrible things. And
well, I think that
it's
even
real life.
Yeah, I think that's real life too. I think like sometimes people, when we hear other people's stories, right, about how they've persevered through their own journeys, whether it's through as an entrepreneur, writer, actor, those people out there that are sharing their journeys, it's never sunshine and roses, right? Or what is it, rainbows and sunshine?
Like sunshine and roses.
You like sunshine? I just made that up.
I know, but
I don't
it works. It works.
Right. But that's how the saying is in that sense.
Yeah.
So it at the end of the day, it is very relatable in that sense.
Yes, because I often get asked, do you ever want to write about the Hispanic experience, like my experience as a Mexican American? And it's a sad story, I mean, just some of the things that my family went through and the way that some things just happened to us. I don't want to really live that again.
Yeah, right.
So maybe one of these days I might want to tell the story, but the themes are the same.
Right.
Are the same.
Right.
There's a dog.
Yeah, sorry. So y'all, just so
I
y'all
love
know,
dogs, so I'm okay with it.
Just so y'all know, we are inside Cameron Ironworks building here at the Cargo Vintage Ladies, and they have a dog shop next door.
Yes.
So
I'm going over there later.
Which is a really great shop. Yeah. It's called Forever Doggies. So if you ever get a chance, definitely go check them out. But that's a dog. Like, we're not outside.
A big dog.
We're not outside. But and I get what you're saying about not reliving the trauma.
Yeah.
But also using some of those themes in your books.
Yes.
But not, putting that personalization.
Yes.
Because we want to learn from our experiences, but not necessarily, like you said, relive the pain as well.
Yeah.
So do you have any characters in your book that are similar to some characteristics of yourself?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So, I always have Hispanic characters in my book because it's just me. It's who I am. It's part of my life. And in the Faye Bloodlines, I have Julio Avila, and he's just this incredible guy. And he lives with his mom, and they have very modest means, and he's struggling. He wants to go to college. He wants to make his life better for himself and his mom. But he also has these supernatural abilities.
Okay.
He and his family, they can see spirits and ghosts.
Oh, okay. That sounds like my family. That sounds like me.
Yes, right? I mean, don't we know someone who can see ghosts? I mean, the Hispanic culture is very rich with superstition, and it's rich with supernatural and spirits. It's just part of our fabric.
Yes. And
so I bring that in with my Hispanic characters, and in the Faye Bloodlines, it's Julio.
Yes.
So,
which, for those that don't know, like, I really got drawn to that story that when I first met you, because at the time I didn't tell you, but my grandfather's name is Julio. And so I was like, I've never in my, 40 years of reading books, did I ever read stories with a name Julio, and that it was not like in a telenovela, or like some type of soap opera show.
Yes, like I wanted to bring a character named Julio into a fantasy world and going into a portal into the fantasy realm and meeting a princess.
Yeah.
Why can't Julio be that person?
Right.
And he is, and he's fantastic because he actually brings his best friend along, Manny. And Manny is kind of like he brings the humor into situations,
Okay.
and the two, Julio and Manny, just kind of like feed off of each other.
Yeah.
But because when I was growing up reading all those fantasy books, I never saw anyone like me. I never saw Garcia
Right.
going into a fantasy realm
Right.
or experiencing an adventure like that. And so I wanted to do that.
Yes.
And I did. Yeah.
I love that. I love everything about that. If you're just joining on, we have our wonderful guest today, Rose Garcia, who is a USA Today bestselling author. She has her collection of books. You would like to show them to
Oh, yeah.
them again?
So it's a 4-book series. I've got Faye Away Book 1, and then Faye Fractured Book 2. And then I've got Book 3, Faye Hunted, which I really love this purple.
Oh, I love that too.
Yes, and then Faye Rising is the conclusion of this series.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So that's the conclusion. So is there something already in the works for
Yes.
some new books?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Always, right? I always have stuff going on. So I am actually writing a new series, and it is a time jump, and it's set in Favenly, which is my fairy realm, and it's about the descendants of Julio and Celise.
Okay.
So it goes into a little bit of a far future, and it has a lot of King Arthur vibes.
Okay.
Meets the Maze Runner. It has a strong friendship group, and then a little bit of the Hunger Games. It's got like a whole bunch of different things going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. I'm
Yeah.
excited for that. Now, when I bought your book, that was last fall. I have not actually attempted to read it.
That's okay. That's okay.
But I had actually another entrepreneur tell me tricks because I have books. I literally have books stacked on my nightstand that I've been trying to read.
Yeah.
And somebody gave me some good advice.
What is it?
And they said to try to read 10 minutes a day.
Yeah.
10 minutes a day. Don't try to read the whole book.
Yes.
Don't try to read like the first 100 pages or the first
Yeah.
50 pages. Just read 10 minutes a day.
Unless the book takes you away.
Right.
And then you can't put it down.
Yes.
But I'm the same way because, in any kind of profession, whatever you are doing, you need to be involved in your craft. Not
Right.
just your own writing, but
Right.
you need to read a lot. And
Yeah,
so reading is very important to me, but I find it really hard to squeeze in as well. So usually I have a book that I'm reading and a book that I'm listening to.
Oh, okay.
So I'm
That's a good idea.
reading two at the same time, and then it's just important because I learn and grow that way as well,
Yes,
and then
yes.
I get to see what's out there, and also watch a lot of shows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. So if you have any questions out there for our wonderful guest today, Rose, please drop them down below and we'll get to them. I did see some comments. I saw, one of the ladies said the cover is what pulls you in. Yes. And
Definitely.
then somebody said, hello. Hey, ladies. Hello,
Hey.
hello. We're super excited for y'all to be on here, and we definitely want to hear from y'all, and, definitely want to get some engagement. So let us know what you want to know about Rose, about being an author, about being a what I guess the genre that she writes, all those, whatever those things are.
Yeah.
Have you always wanted to be an author?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I just didn't exactly know it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess when you shared a little bit about your backstory about
Yes.
being a lawyer and how the dream of writing was so strong.
Yeah.
You definitely,
Yeah.
so it was definitely going to come with being a writer becomes being an author as well.
Yeah, for sure. Another thing that I'm tackling, and I'm so excited about this, is I have written a script for a pilot, a TV show pilot, and oh my gosh, I love it so much. I have a couple of producers that are talking to me about it and getting a lot of feedback and interest. So everyone needs to manifest with me.
Okay, we're putting it out there.
We're putting it out there. This is going to be huge. And the thing that is so amazing about the story is it really just kind of fell into my lap.
Wow.
I wasn't looking to do that. It wasn't on my radar. And then I had this opportunity to meet with this incredible guy, and we were talking about shows and his career and stuff about him.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
he's like, so, what do you want? What do you want if you could have a show or a movie? What would you want? And I'm like,
Right.
all of it. I don't know.
That's kind of a loaded question.
Yeah, I was
because,
like, everything?
because
Yeah.
especially as us Latinas, we don't really get those opportunities.
I
So
know.
that's amazing. So
I know.
I definitely want you to definitely manifest that. Like, hopefully you get that opportunity to write a script
Yes.
for a show or a
Yes.
movie or something, because we just need more of our voices out there, whatever they are, whether they're Mexican American,
Yes.
whether they're
Diversity.
yeah, first gen, whatever.
Yeah.
We need that diversity of our culture out there, and so yes, I support you 100% on that, because that's what we need, right?
Yeah, and my show that I have written, it is set in Houston.
Oh,
Yes, and it takes place on a street like navigation.
Okay.
Because when you are on navigation, there's the original Ninfas on
Yeah.
one side of the street, and then on the other side of the street is the Guadalupe Catholic Church.
Mm-hmm.
And next to the Catholic Church is a cemetery,
Yes.
and then next to the cemetery is the neighborhood.
Right.
Everything is really taking place right there.
Right.
So
Kind of like the center of the area. Yes.
yeah, so my characters live in that neighborhood. They go to that church, and the mom and the daughters work at the restaurant.
Oh, okay.
And it is it is incredible, and I really hope to bring it.
Yes,
life,
we need more.
because-
We need more of that.
Yes.
We need that representation here in Houston as well. That is actually something me and my mom have talked about regarding getting that Tex-Mex Houston
Yes,
Tex-Mex
it's
representation.
different. Tex-Mex is different.
Yes.
And it's so unique.
Yes.
And that story of how they live and what they do, it needs to come out.
Yes, for sure. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. When it comes out, not if, when
Yeah.
it comes out, I would love to be invited for a viewing. Like, please
You will,
remember
for
me.
sure. Yeah, you will.
Yeah, I want to see
Yeah.
a viewing. I would love to see a viewing for that, because that's just a very awesome. That's just so awesome for you.
Yes.
So I'm very excited
It's going
for
to happen.
that.
It's going to happen.
Yes,
I
yes,
have no
yes.
doubt. It's just a matter of when, really.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Let's see here. Let me see if we got any questions on here. I know I've been kind of coming in and out of the questions. So yeah, if y'all have any questions, please let us know. Let me see here. Yeah. Representing Houston.
Yes, exactly.
We are definitely
On
we're
board.
needing that.
Yeah.
We're needing that
Yeah.
so much. Like, we know that the New York community gets the representation for the Puerto Ricans, and then
Yes.
the California gets the representation with the the Chicanos out there,
Yes.
and all of that. And there's just there's so many facets of our culture as
I know,
well.
right? It's like we're all so different and yet so similar in so many ways.
Yes.
Yes.
You ever seen those videos where they be like somebody from a Mexican from Cali and a Mexican from Texas, and like
Yes.
them like eating certain foods
Yes,
or
using different words.
different words as well. It's like it's yet we're the same, but yet we're different because we've grown up in different parts of the country.
Yes.
Yeah,
Our influences are different.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Well, again, so just so y'all know, if y'all missed this episode, no worries. We'll replay it live again tomorrow on the live stream, so you'll get to see it again on the live stream. I will be on there as well, just to answer any questions or to help you, direct you with anything that you would like to know regarding our guests. But today we have her here, and then we will also have the whole episode forever on the feed, as I like to call it.
Forever.
Yeah, forever on the feed
I
on
love it.
Friday. And so we'll drop the full episode on Friday as well. Anything else you would like to share with our viewers out there, or anybody that's watching? Some words of encouragement,
Yeah.
or just anything really.
I guess what I want to say is, for all the creatives that are listening or watching, or the people that aspire to be writers, because I get that question a lot, is how do I become a writer? What do I do? The best thing for you to do is to plug in to a writing community.
Okay.
So for me, when I didn't know anything about the writing community, I started getting Writer's Digest, and it's a really cool magazine. It's online, and you get a lot of tips on writing and how to write and how to query and how to get an agent and all this stuff, which is fantastic. But look into your local community. Like Houston has an incredible writing community.
Okay.
And I plugged in pretty quickly with a group called the Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators, SCBWI. I plugged into them, and then I plugged into like a subgroup, middle grade young adult authors, and that really taught me a lot about the writing, a lot about the publishing, just a ton. Write a lot, read a lot, and just go for it. I mean, really, that's kind of like the bottom line.
Yeah. Well, will you have a book signing with your new books? Yeah.
Oh, so I do go to a lot of events,
Okay.
and my next event is Comic Palooza.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, it is in Houston, May 26th through the 28th, and it is my biggest event of the year.
Okay.
I go every year. I've been going for, years and years and years now,
Yeah.
and so I go following there. I will be there with my books, signing and selling my books.
Yeah.
And then after that, June 1st through 4th, I'm going to a new event, also in Houston, called Book Lovers Con.
Oh, okay. Book Lovers Con.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm going to those two Houston events. That's like on my radar because that's in the summer. So I kind of like need to start getting ready for those.
Yeah. Well, that's great. So
Yeah.
if y'all did not hear, she's going to be at the Comic Palooza here in Houston at May, what day was it? Yeah.
26th through 28th.
May
Yeah.
26th through 28th, and you definitely get an opportunity to meet her if you like.
Yeah.
I know my husband's going to that, so maybe I might have to go if you're going to be there just to have to hang out.
I will be there, but also the characters of Arrow will
Yes.
be there if you love that show,
Yes.
which I love that
That's
show.
the reason why my husband's
And I'm
going.
like, oh my god, the people from Arrow. And the boys.
Yes, the
The
characters.
show,
Yes.
the boys, those 3 characters are going to be there,
Yes.
and I am like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'm fangirling over all of that, and it's going to be a really well attended, big event.
Yes.
because a lot of people want to see them and me.
Well,
and so
yeah. And also, I know last year with COVID still
Yeah,
kind
it
of
was tough.
it was still trying to, they're trying to get a reign of everything. I know there were some people that had said that they were going to be there, and then they weren't able to be there. So now I'm really excited for not just you, but for my husband too. Because like I said, he's really excited. He's already told me I'm going. I'm like, okay.
it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I don't see any questions out there, guys. No worries. We can always ask later. So definitely, if you have any questions for our guests, definitely hit her up. I'm sure slide in the DMs, y'all. That's the way to connect. That's the way I do it sometimes. Just slide in those DMs.
Yeah, you can also go to my website, rosegarciabooks.com.
Okay.
And there's like a contact me. You can click it and fill it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times my DMs just get out of control.
Yeah.
And so sliding into them may not.
Might always be the best.
Definitely not the best.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So we are really glad that you came. I really appreciate also your patience because we did have some technical difficulties, but that's okay. Us Latinas, we persevere.
That's right. We can handle anything.
We figure it out. We are going to talk about some advocacy work though first or at last, and so I want to go ahead and thank you so much for coming, and we'll go ahead and go to the advocacy section. So
Okay.
say bye.
Bye. Thank you.
So thank y'all so much for joining. Again, we really appreciate all the love and support that y'all give us out there. And we just have a couple things that we need to chat about before we leave. Again, we love to do advocacy work here in the community. So if y'all are not aware, Brain Builders, you can register for their new cohort that is coming up, registration for in March, I believe, and you will be able to register any new moms out there that are wanting to register for the for this cohort to be able to help have a better support community of mothers. We really appreciate that and be able to help y'all out as well. Another thing we would like to share is that the 18th annual Frida Fest application. I don't know if it's out, it still has any openings, but just so y'all know, the 18th annual Freedom Fest is going to be going on, and just to keep an eye out on that as well. The last thing we wanted to share was the Boss Babes Empower. They were formerly known as the Baytown Boss Babes, which are now Boss Babes Empower. They are doing a fundraiser for college seniors that are going into college that are looking to possibly go into entrepreneurship, and that they have businesses to start out. So if you'd like to help their scholarship fund, all you have to do is purchase a t-shirt, and you'll be able to get a shirt and the funds will be contributed to their scholarship fund. Sorry guys, my throat is getting a little dry, and I am barely hanging on at this point with my allergies. But again, I really appreciate everything so much. And let me take this off. But I just want y'all to know, thank y'all so much again for the love and support, and let's vamonos. Bye.
That was so fantastic.
There it goes.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I apologize.
It's okay.
But that's cool. 'Cause
She
that's
has
like,
to pause.
There's like a 5-second delay.
I saw that.
And so we have to
I noticed it. Yeah.
month away.
And I don't know what happened to Sam. Her connection was no good.
Yeah, maybe was she at a different location from where she usually normally